Can't hear you, John.
It is Tuesday, and it is a day that will live in infamy. HB 961 passed the House of Representatives, or not House of Representatives, House of Delegates in Virginia. We're going to talk about what that means. I am joined tonight by Matt DasCowboy, and also we have another person that's going to be joining us. Hopefully, if we can get all the stuff worked out, and his name is Brien Dyer. And we'll get into who he is once he gets on. But I definitely wanted to. I got a headache, but it's very important for us to talk about what happened today in Virginia, and then we'll get into what it actually means, because it doesn't mean what a lot of people are reporting. But before we even get into that, I have a question for you, Matt.
I didn't do it.
Do you know how people can help support the program?
How people can help support the program would be donating to John Crump Patreon. Is that what you're talking about there?
Yep, John. Well, that's one of the way. John Crump Patreon is one. You got the PayPal.me/JohnCC and stuff like that. You can go to Black Swan Tactical. There's a lot of ways to support me and the show. Also, Matt, do you drink coffee?
Do I get what?
Do you drink coffee?
Absolutely. I love coffee. Matter of fact, right here is my coffee mug. I just finished drinking a cup of coffee not too long ago. She's going to read that there.
Have you ever heard of a coffee company called Defender Coffee?
Defender Coffee. No. Don't believe I have heard of Defender.
They make great coffee, and one cool thing I like about Defender Coffee is that all proceeds goes to pro gun things.
Excellent. Do they just chip in on one program, or is there a bunch of programs that they chip in on?
A bunch of programs, including GOA. You can go to defendercoffee.com. It's great coffee. They have their Freedom Roast Blend, their Liberty Roast Blend. The Liberty Roast Blend is their dark coffee. The Freedom is like the mid-tier coffee. Everything is ethically sourced, and they even have organic coffee.
Organic coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at the website.
Chris out there. I do see Carl out there, and John Voorhees, and Todd, and a lot of people out there. Yeah, it's a very good program. They're not a sponsor of the show. I mean, they don't pay me any money to do that, but I just like the fact that they give to Pro 2A organizations. And not only that's where their profits go.
I'm guessing it's a better known company too.
Yeah, I mean they're up and coming. They are a no bullshit. They're a no bullshit company. I mean, it's not just we give 10% of our profits. They give all their profits to.
That's awesome. I'm actually on their website right now. When you go to order a bag of whatever you want, you can select the espresso, whole bean, what kind of roast you want, light or dark, and then the gun rights organization that you want to donate to, the Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, and Firearm Policy Coalition.
All great, all great one. All great organizations, and like all the profits go to that organization. I think you should choose Gun Owners of America, but that's just me. But Firearm Coalition is a great organization too. I talked to my counterpart over there a lot. Second Amendment Foundation. I'm good with those guys a lot as well. Chris, you visited Black Rifle Coffee Company last week. Did you talk to Evan over there? Evan's a cool guy over there. Always been a big supporter of gun race and stuff like that. I really like Evan. over at Black Rifle Coffee Company. But try out Defender Coffee. Defender Coffee. Great, great coffee. All right. Announcements. On the 29th in Fauquier County, I will be speaking at a 2A rally along with Eric from RecVet 888 and some other big name people out in Fauquier County. More information on that to come. We're trying to kill time until Matt's friend Brien. Tell us about Brien. Do you still having issues getting on?
He says he's having a hard time, but it is coming through though. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about there. As far as Brian, he's been very active with the VCDL. Hasn't gone to gun shows to talk gun rights and stuff like that. The legislation has gone out. He's handed out probably tens of thousands of Gun Save Lives stickers here in the Roanoke or Southwest Virginia area, really. I heard about him when he went to talk to the Franklin County on the 2A sanctuary, and him and I actually rode up together to talk. Where were we? Blacksburg on the budget meeting, and that's when him and I just started talking together a lot. He's a really good guy, really solid guy. He did a couple interviews on I forget the news station, but he's done a couple of interviews for on VCDL behalf and the 2A rights community behalf. He's a solid guy, great shooter, and hopefully he can get his stuff worked out so he can get on here. Let me see where he's at.
Well, people, you see this? That's a 30-round mag, and this is a 15-round mag. After the first of next year, I will still have this 30-round mag, and I will still have this 15-round mag. It's not going anywhere. I'm not giving it up. I will, no matter what the law says, I will be keeping my magazines. I had lots of magazines, and I will be keeping all of them. That being said, today in the House of Delegates in Virginia, a version of HB 961, which is the assault firearms bill, passed by a 51 to 48 degree margin. To get it through there, they had to weaken it even more. So there's no more felonies. They're all misdemeanors. So you get charged with a misdemeanor if you get caught with one of these. Not a felony anymore, which is big. And the reason why they did that is because they didn't have enough support to get it through. Even with the changes in the weakening of the bill, getting rid of the grandfather clause. First, it wasn't a grandfather clause, and there was, but there was one with the registration, and then they got rid of the grandfather clause, and then they got rid of some other stuff. They upped the magazine capacity from 10 to 12 to get it passed. Then they changed the felonies to misdemeanors, and they still couldn't get it passed on a party line vote, which means that they barely got it through. They got it through. They got a majority by one vote, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that means a bunch of Democrats crossed over.
Yeah, so if I remember, in the House, we needed, what was it, a total of 16 roundabout to get the vote not passed?
Yeah. So they got it by one.
Yeah, got 15 Democrats across the line there.
So here's the thing. This is actually better because they actually had a week in it, better than what I thought. And here's Brien Dyer. Hey, Brien, how you doing? Brien, are you there?
He did mention his. I sent you a picture on Facebook of what he said. Let's check your camera, Mike. Who's having issues with that? So I'm not sure if his microphone's working.
Hey, Brien, can you hear us? Hold on, let me. I might mute him. It's not seeing his mic. Brien, go back out and come back in. Sometimes you have to do that twice for some reason. The first time you use StreamYard, so drop out and come back, and you'll probably pick up your mic. Okay, So that's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be for HB 961. The thing is, we need to flip 3 senators in the Senate, which people are saying 3. We got 2 right now. We actually have more, but 2. 2 said no matter what, they're not voting. They're not voting for it no matter what. So that means we need 1. Right now, the Senate bill was dropped because they didn't have enough votes, and it's hard. It's going to be harder to pass this bill in the Senate than it was the House, and it was a struggle to pass it in the House. So people are freaking out, but it's not law yet. Tomorrow's crossover day where all the bills get sent, and there's a couple different ways that it can be killed off. The first way is the Senate votes it down, which there's a great possibility if everyone in Virginia keeps on hitting the senators list, that it will be voted down. I see Carl out there. Yeah, Lewis is one of the senators that said, no way, there's nothing you can do to this bill to make him vote for it.
On hitting the Senate.
So, tomorrow is crossover day. So there's a couple ways this bill can be killed. It can be killed by a vote of the Senate, which there's a strong possibility of that happening. That if we hit the senators, it's a very strong possibility of that happening. Or the Senate can pass a version of their own bill, and then the 2 sides get together. They send 3 senators and 3 delegates to have a quorum and try to hash out the bill. I'm hoping that it gets killed in the Senate, which there is a good chance it will. One thing I can almost guarantee you is the version of the bill that we currently have is not going to stand the way it is, because they don't have the votes in the Senate. They definitely do not have the votes in the Senate. Moms Demand Action, and Every Time both put out alerts today. With people can go to a website and fill out a pre-filled letter, and they can, in that pre-filled letter, will email the senators. They're doing that because they know they don't have the votes either. In the pre-filled letter, it calls everyone who attended lobby day right-wing extremist.
So that's sort of, they went from 2A extremists, which I was actually a little bit fond of. Now we're right-wing extremists. I mean, yeah. The community is filled with left, middle, and right.
Yeah, I guess they missed the big-ass gay flag, gay pride flag flying with the, the snake on it, the rattlesnake.
Yep.
In fact, you're not even that right-wing.
No.
People don't realize that Matt is more of he leans left on a lot of social issues.
Well, a lot of people go on left and right on it. Myself, I just look at the Constitution. It's written black and white. When you're talking about individuals like LGBTQ and specific religion group, the Constitution doesn't break any of that down. So when I look at the social issues that I guess you could say I lean left on, it doesn't say this or these rights are for only this group or this group. It's for everybody, for every American citizen. Even if you're not an American citizen, you have the right to become an American citizen. I support that. I'm not going to do anything to degrade anybody from trying to be an American. I wish there's some groups out there would stop degrading American citizens. I wish some people would embrace the fact that America's history has not been great, but every time we come up against adversaries or issues such as women's rights, such as segregation, we tackle it head on, we improve it, and we go on to the next issue. And if we have to, we come back and revisit it. That's what makes America so great, that we're able to evolve and include everybody.
Oh, there is another rally. The New England Firearms. To me, the information on that, I'll get something out on that, Todd. Maybe if you guys need some speakers or something, maybe I can hook you guys up with some people like that. So Todd, just hit me up over there. Yeah. So another thing that we have going on is GOA VA. You can go to facebook.com/group/GOA-Virginia, and you can join the Virginia group. It's so we can get information out there as quick as possible to as many people as possible. Matt's on that group, and there's a lot of good people on that group. But another thing going on in Virginia is that there is a group led by the Republican chairman of Hopewell that is planning on having a protest at a delegate's house, an armed protest with ARs and AKs at his house. I talked to the people organizing it, and they said no. They said they're not going to back down. I explained to them that this is why they don't have constitutional carry in Texas, and I relayed all the different places where people have tried this, and it went bad. Plus, they're saying that they're going to show them that, he better withdraw the bill. Levine is the guy. He better withdraw the assault firearms bill, HB 961. Or, they're going to be there with their AR-15s. They're going to harass his family. And right there, that is not good, because that is a threat, which isn't smart to do. So if you go to this protest, you are going to get hemmed up because of what's been said on Facebook already. Oh, Todd's talking about LB 58 and 16. I heard a couple things about those, but yeah, Levine's not going to withdraw it. Levine, he's not going to withdraw it. There's too much pressure on him, and plus, it's beyond that. So all you're going to do is the people on the fence that are, well, should I support this or shouldn't I support this? We're going to see a bunch of people standing in front of somebody's house on the front door with AR-15s and AK-47s, and the cops going to be everywhere, and it's going to push people to the dark side. It's going to push them off the fence into Levine's thing. It's the greatest thing you can do for them. And it's going to make, and Jerry's right, it's going to make us look bad. And when I talked to them, they wanted support of GOA. And I was like, dude, we're not giving you shit. We're not going to back this because it's a dumb play. So I would encourage anyone not to go. If you're planning on going, just think about it. Do some research on how it worked out in Texas when the Nagar affiliate did that in Texas and got constitutional carry killed. They took victory out of the jaws of defeat. And we have Brien, and I can hear him.
I think so.
Hey, okay,
are you here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and tell everyone who you are.
My name is Brien Dyer. I'm an executive member with the VCDL.
Tell everyone what an executive member is, because a lot of people don't know what executive members are.
Well, it's basically you pay twice as much for your annual fees, and you work twice as hard. You got to put in more time than you normally would. I mean, you're not required to put in any time as far as that goes with like the regular VCDL, but with executive members, you do a lot more. You try to involve the community, get people signed up, stuff like that.
Yeah, you do a lot of gun shows.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all of them in the area. It'd be Roanoke, Salem, Lynchburg, which Lynchburg's coming up, I think, on the 29th.
And I volunteered for VCDL at gun shows before, and you give out the Gun Save Live stickers, which is the orange
That's right.
sticker that I always wear. You hand out a lot of literature, you get people signed up, you inform people. One of the reasons why I like VCDL so much is that your alert system. You guys get a lot of alerts out, and you also work well with other groups, like my group, GOA.
Yes.
You work. I have Phil's phone number, so I will call Phil Van Cleve, who is like the head of the VCDL, directly,
Right.
and we will brainstorm. And we have big email threads going through. We don't play favorites, and we share information basically.
Right.
Which
Yeah, I think that's the way we have to be nowadays with our competition, so to speak, working so hard against us.
yeah. What do you think of the other groups? For example, I'll name one, Nagger. Nagger won't work with anyone, but they don't really do anything. They just collect money.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about groups like them and certain other groups that refuse to work with VCDL or GOA and stuff?
I think it's just a matter of time before they're gone. Honestly, if you're not willing to work with everybody else, especially on a state level, I get it if you're a national organization that wants to try to promote gun rights, but you gotta involve the little guy. You gotta do the grassroots thing, or you're gonna become, what's the word I'm looking for? I forget, but you're not gonna be important anymore. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Relevant.
exactly.
That's the word I was looking for. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not going to be relevant. GOA's done a lot of work in Virginia. I know because I've been up for like 15, 16 hours a day working on it in Virginia.
I'm sure, yeah.
And VCDL has been on it for Virginia. There, 3Up VA is another organization like what Matt is a member of. They've been working on it a lot in Virginia. So you have certain groups that are doing a lot of work to help fight back against Virginia, and then you see some other groups which show up and they'll send like an email or put up a billboard, and they won't like, oh, we're going to do our own thing, we're not going to be a part of lobby day, we're going to do our own day.
Yeah, their own lobby day. I like that.
Yeah, so
that was I don't know, I don't even know what the purpose of was that. I mean, why would you do that? Why not involve the citizens? Why not come in when everybody's coming? I mean, that's what they did. I know who you're referring to, and that's what they did this past summer, in July, when they had the summer lobby day, and they did the same thing last year in 2019. They were there on lobby day. I don't understand why they didn't do it this year.
Yeah, we decided we didn't want to duplicate efforts, and that's why we do a lot of stuff with VCDL, because it doesn't make sense to duplicate efforts when you can have focus efforts.
Right. Exactly.
I don't get it. I talked to one of the board members of this other group, one of the former board members, and also one of the current board members, and I asked them why, and their answer was simple. It's not their business model. And
I don't see why there should be a business model. It shouldn't be a business model.
Yeah, there really shouldn't be a business model, but that's the answer I got. It's not the business model.
Well, as far as
I don't know how that could be a successful business model without having your grassroots organizations involved.
What we always tell people at GOA is join one national organization. We don't tell them what national organization. But more importantly, before you join a national organization, make sure you join a local organization first, because that's
Agreed.
The sounds. But I'm just surprised that there's a lot of big groups that don't preach that philosophy.
It is surprising. It's unfortunate as well.
It's like, what do you care about? I wish we didn't have to have a GOA, and we didn't have to have a VCDL or a
CCDL, me too,
or EZDL or a Florida carry, but we do.
So, yeah, it's mandatory. You got to have them nowadays.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of groups out there that don't work well with each other, which I think it's sad. I think it has a lot to do with ego on some of the smaller groups that won't work with other people. It's either ego or money; those two things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the problem is they like those expense accounts and they like being able to spend that money and go on the trips and buy the clothes and the wardrobes and all that stuff. And you get used to it. When things are good, they get used to that money because people are still spending money. They're still, paying for memberships and giving donations. And well, you don't really need to lobby much because times were good. It wasn't a big threat back then, and now it is. And they're not relevant anymore because of it. They're not staying up with the times. They're not following what needs to be done. They're still trying to do, like you said, their business model, and their business model is not going to work anymore.
No, I think people are waking up and realizing how important the local organizations are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've seen a massive influx, and while there's no public number that they've put out, I know that they're behind in membership around 9,000, 10,000 applications. And while there's no official number on the current level of VCDL's membership, guesstimates are around 16, 17,000. To give you an idea, before November, VCDL had a membership of around 7,000 members. And so from November till now, we've at least doubled it, maybe, getting close to tripling it when they get done with the rest of the applications that are backlogged.
Yeah,
I was a member for a couple of years, and I dropped out. I just signed back up in 2019. I still haven't gotten any VCDL acceptance papers or anything, but so I'm assuming I'm a member. Y'all got my money.
Yeah. Well, there's I think a 13-week backlog. Usually it's 4 to 6 weeks, and we have your information to you. We've had people come in. They come to one gun show and get signed up, then they come to the next one, and they've got their new card and all their stuff already. But now they're telling us to tell people more or less along the lines of between 12 and 16 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Where we are backlogged as well.
I'm sure.
All right, Jerry, we'll talk to you later. Yeah, with people. It's amazing. It's heartwarming though. It's people are waking up, and I think it's going to show up in the next election.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think another thing that we all need to work on is focusing on getting more people to get registered to vote. The bottom line is, yes, there were 33 uncontested Democrats in our state election last November, and so that was 33 opportunities that were wasted. I just came from a Republican meeting tonight, and we're working towards getting that problem taken care of. Yeah, I understand they don't want to spend money where it's not a good chance that anybody's going to win. But I remember on election night, I was watching on Facebook and on VCDL's webpage, and they were saying things like, well, I'm glad everybody else had someone to vote for. I didn't have anybody on the ballot. Democrats only, Democrats only. And I kept seeing that over and over and over as I was scrolling through Facebook and looking at this stuff. And I was just thinking, I'm in a safe place in Franklin County. I mean, we call it safe, but Franklin County it was pretty much a land. I won't say a landslide, but Republicans won pretty easily in Franklin County. And so I guess around here we weren't worried about it, but it was disheartening to hear that lots of people around the state didn't have anybody they could vote for.
I'm in Northern Virginia.
So maybe you were probably one of the people that didn't have anybody on your ballot that you wanted to vote for.
No, we did. We had someone, a very good guy to vote for. But it's hard being in Northern Virginia. It's so blue.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's one thing where I'm working hard here in Roanoke City. Matter of fact, John, we need to get your tour with Maj Toure down here. And trying to change Roanoke City. I mean, we're the only blue down here in Southwest Virginia. I got ideas, and hopefully I'm working with we went over my political beliefs earlier, and I actually joined up with the Republican Party. I'm helping the Roanoke City Republican Committee and get reestablished, getting out there. I'll be knocking on doors, and I'm actually a precinct captain now.
That's
Awesome.
good. It's coming. It's coming. With Maj Choi from Black Guns Matters, and we doing a tour with GOA. There's going to be a press conference and everything. It's going to be, we're expanding. It's just not going to be Virginia anymore. It's going nationwide. We worked it out, and we're going to be going to like Baltimore, and we're going to be going to the heart of the belly of the beast in a lot of places, St. Louis, New Orleans, as well as Roanoke and Richmond and the Tidewater area and Virginia. So it started out as a Virginia tour, and now it's expanding to a national tour.
Wow.
And it's doing teach people about gun rights that no one's ever reached out to. And I think that's one thing that we need to do. We need to reach out to more people.
Definitely. I agree with you on that. There's people out there.
I think he got sucked into the upside down. Oh, there you are. You're back now. You froze up there for a second. I thought you got sucked into the upside down for the Stranger Things poster behind you.
I did. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So, yeah.
I thought you guys did it. Everything just stopped moving for a moment.
Yeah. Brien, you are involved heavily in Republican politics, right?
Yes.
You go to the Republican meeting.
Yes.
What do you think of the chairman of the Republican in Hopewell leading a armed protest at Levine's house with ARs and AKs?
Wow. I'm completely unfamiliar with that. I just heard about that. Matt was kind of briefing me on that earlier, and I have no idea about it yet. I think that maybe that's something that people need to do. I don't know if it's something that I would advocate, but I think maybe, I don't know. I guess there's a time and a place for everything.
Well,
it's hard to say.
He's going to be in Richmond, so he's not going to even be there. His wife and kids are going to be there.
Well, I would definitely, if I was going to be protesting like that, I would definitely want it aimed at the person causing the problem. I would not want to try to intimidate a man's wife or his kids.
Yeah, I think it's bad. I think it's just a bad look.
Yeah. Here in Roanoke.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that it was just the kids. I mean, that's
he's going to be in Richmond. Definitely. He's not going to even be there. So what's the point?
Yeah. I don't agree with bringing people's families into it. That's just that's dirty beyond regular dirty politics.
Yeah, and it usually doesn't work out too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually a tactic used by a extreme left-wing lady, Catherine. I can't remember her last name. She actually went out and vandalized the NRA member here in Roanoke, Virginia, and also she went to I can't remember who it was, but she actually went to his house and tore down the candidate's flags in his front yard. She's actually even gone as far as getting his wife fired from her job because she happened to know someone that was higher up than her. I mean, that's just dirty. I mean, it's one thing to disagree on politics, but when you start attacking family and house, I mean, that's just criminal.
Look, when Smash Racism DC did it to Tucker Carlson's house, everyone was up in arms about, you don't go to a person's house.
Right.
And I think that's what we need to do. There's a park across the street. Protest over there. Don't protest in their driveway.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know what the legality would be of them protesting in his driveway. Is that where they're at? Are they in his driveway?
That's where they're planning on doing it.
Yeah. I couldn't get behind that. Especially, he's not on his property. I mean, that sounds like trespassing
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's why I'm saying that I think it's gonna end up looking a lot worse for us.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with you on that.
But I try to talk them out
You
of
know,
it, but they're not wanting to be talked out of it. So
yeah. What was it? Can you give me his name? Do you know his name?
yeah, you want to give it to? You want me to give it to you off air, or
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, are you gonna try to like reach out or something? Because I tried it,
Yeah,
didn't work out too well.
yeah. Well, I might know somebody that could reach out for me.
Okay, yeah, I'll get you his name. But yeah, I talked to him
Sure.
on the phone today. He agreed that we both had the same goals. I just think the way he's going about it is not good.
I agree.
I think it's gonna hurt us because we have a good chance of defeating HB 961 in the Senate.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you look at the fact that they didn't all vote for it. Some of them voted against it. I think it was three of them or three or
Yeah.
four of them that voted against it, and
And
then some of them didn't vote at all.
they had to water it down.
Yeah, and they voted those few voted against the watered down version. And so when I feel like when that goes to the Senate, I know there's four good Democratic senators out there that are thinking about or talking about not voting for it. I know they were against the original 961. We're hoping that they'll still see the unconstitutionality of it. You know, one of them, I think it was Craig Deeds, I think it was him. Don't quote me on it, but one of them was saying that they refuse to vote yes on any law that turns an otherwise law-abiding citizen into a for simply owning something that they lawfully owned the day before.
That was Lewis.
Lewis, okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. Leonard Lewis, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I knew it was one of them. I just wasn't sure which one.
Yeah, I mean, we need to flip 3, and we definitely have 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Two puts us even, and that's still bad. So I feel like we need 3 to get it done, or at
Yeah,
least three on our side, or 2 on our side, and 1 not voting, or 2 not
yeah,
voting. That's what we really could use, was just 4 guys just not vote. That would be perfect.
yeah. We need 3 to
Or
either not
ladies.
vote or vote against it.
Yeah.
And I think we got that. And so I don't want to rock the boat. Someone was asking me if I hoped Republicans submit some stuff to it to make the bill less harsh. And my answer was no, because I want it as toxic as possible when it goes to the Senate.
That's right. I agree. I agree 100%. I don't think they should have dressed it up at all. I think it should have just went just like it was. But I know they knew that it was going to fly like that.
Well, the Democrats dressed it up. They're the ones who weakened it every single time. The Republicans have never weakened it because it doesn't make sense for us to weaken it.
Now, I've spent about 30, 45 minutes trying to get caught up on all the changes. We keep talking about what is watered down and things were changed. What's some things that were changed that pop up in your mind, John?
My mind, okay, the first thing was there was no grandfather clause. Then they added a grandfather clause with the registration. Then they removed the registration part. Then they raised the 10-round limit to 12 rounds. And then they changed the felonies for having like magazines like this from a class 6 felony to a misdemeanor.
Is it still a misdemeanor? I thought it was still a felony, a class 6 felony now.
They changed it to a misdemeanor. Today, they get it through. That's the only way they got all the votes.
Oh, okay. I understand. I was unaware of that one.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen yesterday, but it happened today because if they kept it a felony, it wouldn't have gone through. A couple scary things that a lot of people are overlooking in the bill. I actually wrote an article about. G-Webs is out there. Hey, G-Webs, what's up? Article about is that it actually forbids manufacturers from making ARs in Virginia unless they are exclusively for the use of military police. So, like Zenith Firearms will be shut down, and a bunch of other companies out of Virginia will be shut down.
That's ridiculous.
Not only
That
that,
doesn't even. I mean, that,
you can't repair your own firearm. You can't repair a firearm once it breaks. Like, let's say you have your hammer breaks or your trigger breaks or spring breaks in your AR.
Yeah.
Technically, by you repairing that, you're committing a crime.
that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem to fix a problem or address any kind of problem that they might have thought they had. I don't understand the purpose for that one. You can't repair your own firearms, or you can't fix it. That doesn't.
Yeah, because the
Sounds silly.
part, it would be illegal.
The part would be.
You can't add that part to a replacement part. You can't add it to a gun that was grandfathered in.
Oh, because you can't purchase the assault firearm parts anymore.
Well, let's say you have an assault firearm, right? And let's say your trigger spring breaks, which a non-assault firearm you can put in a new trigger spring, right?
Right.
If that was grandfathered in as an assault firearm, you cannot add a part to that assault firearm, even if it's a replacement part.
That's really. I don't even. That just makes my head hurt trying to figure that out. That's ridiculous.
So, well, my question is with these magazine capacity laws and stuff going around, is it going to be like, I think it was Colorado, you could not buy a 30 round magazine. You could buy this, an empty shell. Then you could come around and buy this, follow and spring.
It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. Basically, one of the things it says that even if it's a 10 round magazine, you see how I can like just pop this off and it just slides off, and I can take it out. You know, the bottom plate has to be fixed. So that would be illegal. My other, where did I put it at? I don't know. I have my Glock mag, which has a removable base plate. That would be illegal because the base plate is removable.
Mm-hmm.
But John, they got rid of the registration, John Voorhees. So yeah, so it's gonna be ridiculous, though, man.
I agree. It's already ridiculous, and they're just doubling down on it. I believe it's just. I don't even, like I said, it makes my head hurt trying to figure that out. It just the common sense behind it is gone. They talk about common sense this and common sense that, and you would think they would want your assault firearm to be in good working condition so it's not so dangerous.
Yeah, there's no sense to begin with. I mean, all these are stemming from Bloomberg and Everytown, completely fabricated misconceptions, lies. It's just, if you want common sense, you have to start with common sense. Not, hey, we're going to ban this. We're calling this an assault weapon. Well, that doesn't meet the definition of assault weapon. So let's change what the definition of assault weapon is. It's just, there's no common sense in their game whatsoever. They're just piecing things together as you're running down the hallway.
And reminds me of a little kid threatening a temper tantrum. He's going to take his toys and go home, and that's what it reminds me of.
I have a Mossberg 500 that came with an extended magazine tube to hold 10 shells, and that's going to be illegal under the new law.
I didn't know that one. I was thinking it was just semi-autos.
No, any shotgun that holds more than 7 shells.
Oh, okay, so they changed that too then.
Yeah, well, that's always been like that. That flew under the radar a lot.
Yeah, I also noticed that they said something about a shotgun with a revolving barrel.
Yeah, revolving magazine tube.
Yeah. Okay.
What they're talking about is the street sweepers.
Mm-hmm.
So you said a revolving magazine tube or a revolving cylinder?
It's revolving cylinder. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the street sweepers. Nothing.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, the problem with that, it's also gonna get the circuit court judge. Are you familiar with that weapon, that firearm? Excuse me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, I happen to have one of those, so I understand. It also has a threaded barrel because it has a choke on it. I don't know if that counts or not, but I imagine it probably would.
Yeah. So have they done anything with the threaded barrel part of it?
That is one of the features that would make it an assault firearm.
Yeah, it's got a screw-in choke.
It's pretty much covers every single AR out there.
So yeah, so basically, I'm not sure. I wish I still had my pre-band AK to show you guys, but the pre-band AK is they basically took off the thread of AK. It was a washer from pre-band, and there's no thread at the end of the and there's no bayonet lug, and there's no thread at the end of the AK. It was just smoothbore. And then they made it so you can only accept 10-round magazines, which, you just take a Dremel and Dremel it back, and then you're back in business with 30-round magazines. Yeah. So, I mean, it was easy to get around, but that's what they're looking to do. Which, it's funny how crimes with the ARs went up in Maryland after they banned all that stuff, and then also New York and New Jersey.
Yeah. They don't want to talk about that. That's not it's because they didn't ban it in time, right?
Or they say coming from other states.
It came from other states.
Yeah. Other states. I forgot about that excuse.
It's like, then why did their crime rate go up? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, people bring the ARs in from Indiana. It's like, well, Indiana's crime rate didn't go all up like Chicago's.
Yeah, I keep hearing about the Chicago, Indiana reference. Like, you're exactly right. If the guns that caused Chicago's crime came from Indiana, then surely Indiana should be the mecca of crime.
Well, they got to get them from somewhere. That's their topic or thought is just.
Yeah, that common sense just isn't too common.
Do you think Bloomberg is have a chance at the national level?
I don't think so. I mean, you never know. It could happen, but as of right now, just looking at the preliminary stuff coming out of, was it Iowa? I don't.
He hasn't ran yet. So. Iowa tonight.
He didn't run in Iowa.
He didn't run in Iowa and didn't run in New Hampshire. Sanders won tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll win because that video that just came out. I'm not sure if you saw it, where he's talking about to stop and frisk in New York, which I'm against stop and frisk, by the way.
Yeah.
But he also talked about how all the criminals in New York are blacks.
Oh no! Why in the world would he say that?
Old video.
Well, as far as
lets you know where he's coming from.
My concern is if you look at the history of people and how they get up to the actual presidential race, this is his dry run. Trump did a dry run. He got things sorted out, and then his next run, which is, I'm sorry, I think this year is Bloomberg's dry run, and his next election year, the time where he will actually go all out, is 2024. And if you think about it, then, I mean, does the Republicans have anything lined up? The Libertarians, Independents? Is there anybody else lined up that can challenge a multi-billionaire who's dead set on changing the country to fit his ideas?
For 2024?
Yeah, 2024. I think that's when he's really going to try and go all out.
I
that's
believe
a good possibility.
It's a good possibility. I believe that we have some people. A guy I would like to see do more at the national level, and he is. He's running for Congress, and he has my full support, is Nick Freitas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick Freitas is definitely a friend of gun owners everywhere.
Definitely, yeah.
Matt, you and Who were you with? Dave, yeah. I don't know. Sorry, Dave.
All the people from or the 12 or zone 12, 13, or 3 up Virginia, around or surrounding him, there was probably about 12 to 15 of us from my area at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a very good video. It's found on my channel as well. Brandon Williams is bringing up the fact that Bloomberg wants to ban any guns that hold more than 3 rounds.
That just leads to him not knowing what he's talking about. It just makes it even more obvious that he has no idea what anything that he's referencing. Somebody said 5, somebody said 6, and he said he's going to beat everybody and say 3.
Yeah, 3 rounds. It's ridiculous. Although if he did get elected president, it would be kind of cool for a guy that, have me blocked on Twitter and badmouth me directly. I can say, yeah, the president don't like me. I don't know.
Did he ever unblock you?
What's that?
Did he ever unblock you? I know. I remember something about
Dan Helmer who blocked me. Dan Helmer blocked me. He's not allowed to block me though. Because
was that ever rectified?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, Dan Helmer tried to block me, and he was kind of refusing to unblock me. But I have pretty good attorneys who contacted him, and then he decided he didn't want to fight that one in court. So I am now unblocked. Yeah, I'm now unblocked from all of social media.
It's very childish.
The reason why I got blocked is because I busted him on some fake information that he gave out. Yeah, and I wrote a big article about it. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he claimed when he was running for Congress that he bought a AR from a vendor at a gun show, and claimed that none of the vendors at the gun show do background checks.
I've heard that claim several times. People say that they don't realize what they're saying.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Because honestly, that's not true, and it's easily verifiable that it's not true.
Yeah, if you bought it from a vendor, it definitely went through I like you said, I do the gun shows all the time. I'm there on every one in Franklin County, in Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Salem, and every vendor. I've never seen anybody just say, "Well, go ahead and take it. I don't need to do a background check this time." You just don't do that. A guy's not going to risk his livelihood to sell some idiot a gun under the table or whatever. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I know the fees and stuff and the amount you pay just to keep your FFL is in the thousands every year, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 just to keep your FFL license. I seriously doubt somebody's going to throw it away for one guy that wants to buy an AR-15.
Yeah, especially a guy you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I called him out, and I contacted state police saying, "Hey, this guy bought an AR-15 at the gun show from a vendor without doing a background check. You need to contact this guy and get the information."
Yeah.
I knew he lied.
It would have been nice to hear that.
I don't know, but I knew he lied. But yeah, I was like, "Oh, let me cause some heartaches." And after that, I was blocked like that.
Too many truths. You told too many truths.
Well, I think the fact is I contacted the state police and said, "Hey, look, this guy bought an AR-15." I'm
well, yeah, that could have something to do with it, I guess.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So, what do you think is going to happen in Virginia with all the gun bills? We defeated a couple. The ones shutting down the indoor ranges have been defeated.
Yeah, I think, in all honesty, I think, unfortunately, the universal background checks I think it's going to pass.
I agree.
I believe,
I agree.
The red flag laws, I think, will also pass in some form or another. It may not be. I know they've kind of watered it down to try to allow for some more due process. Yeah, we may see a little bit more of that.
Actually,
what?
now only family members and stuff can't red flag you. It has to be 2 officers of the law in agreement.
Oh, okay. I knew at one point they had it said something about a magistrate had to believe there was no other way.
Yeah, that's still in there.
Oh, okay. That seems ridiculous. I mean, how does he know how I feel or anything about me? How is the magistrate going to know that the only way to stop me or save lives is to take my guns?
Well,
That
it's
sounds
ridiculous, but it's better than what it was before. So now the 2 separate officers have to agree, and then the
Yeah,
magistrate have to see that there's no other way. So it's a little
my
bit better
biggest
out there.
my biggest issue on that is it's just layering laws on top of each other. There's already a law as far as mental capacity. The way that goes is if or a police officer got to come out to your house to see if there is a reason to call a mental health professional out to see if you're capable of doing harm to yourself, and then they pull into the court system. So I mean, there's already laws like that. Why are you adding laws like that on top of it? That on guns. I mean, there's already laws there that do very similar things here in Virginia.
If John Voorhees wants to know what happens if the bills get passed in the Senate, then they become law, and then we start fighting them in the court for violating Article 1, Section 13 of the Virginia Constitution. I don't think it's any secret. That's the next point that we get to.
Yeah.
Well, technically, they got to get signed by the governor, but we all know that can be signed as soon as it's the table.
It's going to be rubber stamped. But there is a way, if it gets passed in the Senate in another form, the Senate has to send 3 senators, and the House of Delegates sends 3 delegates, and they have a quorum to try to work it out. And if they can't work it out, then the bill is dead. But I don't see that happening. They'll work it out some way.
Yeah, the one last thing before I got to get off here, but one last thing before I leave, I also would like to say that I think that I mentioned the universal background checks and the red flag laws, and I think they're probably going to do the 1 handgun a month. That was the finish on that question you asked me earlier. I believe that they'll get for sure. I'd say those 3 in some form or another. I'd seriously doubt the assault weapons or assault firearms or however they put it. I really don't think it is, but I mean, you never know. I mean, they could hit a mean streak or something and decide that they just want to vote it all in and let the court settle it. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. All right. Brien, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
And how can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. Do what?
Or anything else you want to plug?
Join the VCDL. Yes, definitely. Join the GOA. Those are 2. I'm life member of the GOA, executive member of VCDL. I'm still a life member with the NRA, but you know, it is what it is. I'm a life member, so I can vote. I keep voting to try to change the way it is right now, and that's what we got to do. I mean, it is the most known gun rights organization. So I'm not saying it's the most popular right now, but it's definitely the most known. Everybody, you say NRA in America, and anybody can tell you what that is.
Yeah, the boogeyman.
We got to get in there and fix it. Got to fix it.
Yeah. Vote for Colonel Brown.
There you go. All right, fellas. Greatly appreciate you having me on. I'd love to do it again sometime. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Brien.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
The red axe.
So John Voorhees was saying, could the governor veto it? He could veto it, but he's not going to. If you want to join the GOA, you can join for actually 25% off by using. So it's only like $15 by going to gunowners.org /black-swan-media. That is us and a bunch of other projects and stuff like that. So we definitely want to get that rolling. We definitely want to get people joined. We have Gunathon coming up as well. Gunathon's going to be freaking awesome. Can't wait. And big shout out to Machine Gun Matt out there who actually donated $500 today to GOA.
Hey, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, he runs a gun company in Virginia. I wish I give him a plug on the next show. I'll give him a whole sponsorship for the next show. But yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard struggle. We don't want anyone to stop fighting. We do need people to go ahead and contact their senators. I'm gonna put up a banner here. I forgot to create it, but I'll put it up now. I create it right now of our Facebook group for GOA. And it's, I think, is it group or groups? If this doesn't work, you can just search it. I think it's groups. Yeah, this is our new group here. I'm gonna put up there. I encourage everyone to go ahead and join it. John, don't even worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have a bunch of people there. I'm probably not gonna even have time to breathe, much less say hi to anyone. I'll be doing a lot of backstage stuff. Matt, you're coming up too. I think you're helping out as well.
At Gunathon, yes, and I think I think I got another person or two that's going to come up with me, willing to help. And you know how us guys up here or down here in Southwest Virginia, you put us to work, we get it done.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great, and GOA definitely appreciates the help of 3Up VA a lot.
All right, I'm sharing the Facebook page to the YouTube chat, and I'm headed over here to the.
Look at the screen.
That's not right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, my bad. Well, if you go to my link, you just click it. Now they have to look at yours and go back and forth and type it in. I make it easy. Easy. That's what people like.
Yeah. It will. Yeah, Midwest Shooting Center. I've heard a lot of good stuff about them. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to be doing a Gunathon each year. This year is going to be in Virginia, and we'll see where next year is. So Virginia is chosen because it's going to be the ground zero for the gunfight. But I just want everyone to calm down about it. Nothing's passed, and it actually, Matt and I have talked about this in the past. What I thought it was going to pass, and what they needed to do to get it passed was actually more than what I thought they're going to need it to do. So this shows that they really don't have that much support.
Well, with that said, don't freak out about it too much, but do not stop contacting your Virginia state senators. Don't stop contacting your delegate. Myself, I got Sam Razul. I've been trying to get a hold of him for 6 months. You know what? I'm still sending him emails. I'm still calling his office. I'm pretty sure he knows my name if his assistant tells him everybody. Soon as he comes back to Roanoke, I'm going to be knocking on his door pretty hard. Because he's one of the people that's actually pushing some of these legislation through, and I'm not happy. I'm one of his constituents. In fact, here in Roanoke City GOP, we have a candidate or a potential candidate who's getting ready to run against him this year. So, balls to the wall. Keep pushing. You complained about 32 uncontested seats this last election. That means I don't want to see a single uncontested seat here in the state of Virginia. That's because all the grassroots community is getting together. If there's no one stepping up, then you need to step up. That's how we're going to get things done. And don't stop. We're making a hell of a progress. We're going up against a lot of money, and that's what we are again. Money. We're a grassroots community. We're everywhere. We share information. Don't freak out too much, but stay active.
Yeah, definitely stay active. Definitely stay active. and join VCDL. Even if you're not in Virginia, join VCDL. All right, we need money. I hate to say it's coming down to some money, but it comes down to money. These lawsuits are going to get expensive.
Yeah, not only that, they spent at least a couple $100,000 on the lobby day, and GUA. I mean, there's so much money being spent here to go against the millions that Bloomberg and Everytown and Mom to Man Action have put in. It's just
we don't have as much money. I have not had a chance to read the article you sent me, John Voorhees. I'll read it tonight. We don't have as much money as the Bloomberg billions, but what we do have is a lot of free workers, a lot of people who don't want money to call their senators. And Everytown and Moms Demand Action, they really don't have that. The people that are doing it, they're being paid.
Yeah, Moms Demand Action, they had 32 activists, if that, hiding somewhere in Richmond on their day of their protest. And their 2A community, we bought, I know the number somewhere around 20,000, but I still truly believe it's somewhere closer to 50 or 60,000 people. It's just the method they were counting, where they're counting right in front of the Capitol, not going down the streets and a block away from the street.
Yeah, we are following the drone footage and helicopter footage so we can do our own stuff.
Cool.
There is another nonprofit that's going to be opening up soon. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I think it's going to do a lot of good work.
Teaser.
We got to wait for everything to come through. It's not a place to say. When it breaks, it's going to break. And when you see who's involved, I'm involved, but I'm a small fry compared to some of the other people involved in it.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate you bringing me on here. Thank you for giving us an update of what's going on. I got school in the morning, so I got to get rolling here too.
I got to get rolling as well. I just wanted to thank everyone out there. Matt, thank you. Give out your plugs before I let you go. Any plugs, Matt?
Of course not. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for a recognition. I just do this because it's what's right. So I don't really have anything to plug except for VCDO. I've put up VCDO and GOA, Black Swan Media's links on both YouTube and Facebook. I don't have access to any other streaming method. Click them, join them, and share. Like and share everything you see.
John Voorhees, I can't give you a call. I got too much to get done for the whole crossover day thing. But yeah, that is good. And thank you so much, Matt, for joining us. Matt DasCowboy on Facebook. Right?
Yes.
All right. Later, Matt. Have fun at school tomorrow, college boy. Matt went back to college, everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
He's trying to get an engineering degree. He wants to be like me.
I'm getting closer. Electrical engineering, actually. That's the niche I'm going for.
That's good, man. That's good. Lost a job out there for that. All right, guys. Let me give out my plugs. See you, Matt. Real John Crump on Facebook and Instagram. Patreon / John Crump. Check out some t-shirts at Black Swan Tactical. Join Gun Owners of America at gunowners.org / black-swan-media for 25% off. Super chat. There you go. It's like a super chat. PayPal.me / John CC. Also, remember VCDL. Join them. If you want to know how to get a Second Amendment sanctuary ordinance started in your town, go ahead and check that out. Gunownersaction.org / SASO. As always, VCDL, Hold My Guns, great organization. Do a lot with mental health on the mental health board, and it's a great organization. They are fighting to stop red flag laws. Defender Coffee. When you buy it, you get to pick where your profits go, whether it's GOA, FPC, or Second Amendment Foundation. And last but not least, join us over at the conversation over at the Facebook group. So facebook.com/groups/GOA-Virginia. Thank you, Sheila. We will stay strong. You joined GOA, which is awesome. And you just got your cards, which is awesome as well. I really appreciate everything everyone out there does. All right, my name is John, and Tom will be joining tomorrow. Use the link. Save money. My name is John. I am the Virginia director for GOA, CEO of Black Swan Media, writer for AmmoLand, and I do a bunch of other crazy stuff. And I will be seeing you guys later, and I'm going to play my outro. Bye.
You've been watching Fireside Chats with John Crump, a Black Swan Media Group production. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tune in every week for a conversation with the difference makers in the world.